You tried your best to stop a taxi for yourself, but none stopped. You ran your fingers through your hair, grabbing them in between. Oh no, I'm screwed again. How will I go home now? You look side to side praying for another taxi to come because your boss made you work overtime and you missed your bus. Now you are not getting any taxi and your home is far from here. What would I do now? One taxi came but it drives away as it was already carrying passengers. You sighed and decided to walk to a distance to see if you can get any taxi from there. My life is getting adventurous day by day. Don't know when I'll find peace, probably the day I die. Mumbling to yourself, you were walking when a motorcycle stopped near you. This area is a little bit risky because so many F-boys always play around, drunk and trouble girls. So when the motorcycle stopped near you, you got a little scared and your steps quickened, but the guy again stopped his motorcycle beside you. He was wearing a helmet. Although you were scared, but you gathered your courage and decided to confront him because if you didn't stop him, he will trouble you. You turned towards him with serious expression. Hey mister, don't you have any other work, huh? Can't you mind your own business? If you think I'll get scared by these cheap tricks, then you are wrong. The guy took off his helmet and your eyes widened along with your mouth. Jungkook, it's you? He chuckled and rubbed the back of his neck. I'm sorry if I scared you. I didn't know you'll get scared. I thought some random guy trying to take advantage. I'm sorry, he chuckled. Don't worry, you are safe. I was just passing by when I saw you walking like this. Did you miss your bus? You sighed and nodded. Yes, my boss made me overwork and I missed my bus. There's no taxi available. This boss doesn't seem to care about you. You should leave this job. You looked at him. I need money to survive in this big city. I can't. He looked at you and sighed. Okay, sit on my bike. I'll drop you off at your place. You looked at him surprised. Oh no, it's fine. I'll wait for taxi. I live far from here. He rolled his eyes. Do you really think you'll get any taxi at this hour? Plus those drunk boys. Are you ready to handle them? He was correct, plus taking his help is better than staying at footpath all night. You took the helmet from his hands. I seriously don't want to trouble you. You said sitting on his bike while he smiled when you grabbed his shoulder for support. You are not troubling me. In fact, how about I become your driver? You chuckled. I can't afford to have such a handsome driver. He laughed a little and started the engine. Don't worry, this one will come for almost free of cost. You can treat me with free coffees if you want. You laughed. I will anyways. You don't have to become my driver for that. One thing you never realize is that whenever you both are together, you guys get so comfortable as if know each other for so long. There is no hesitation, no shyness, just pure friendship or maybe something more than that. After almost 2 hours, you finally reached at your place. You get off his motorcycle and gave him the helmet, a soft smile tugging both of your lips. Thank you once again. You really proved that you're a savior. He chuckled. It can be a coincidence, right? You chuckled. Who knows? By the way, please come inside. I trouble you so much. At least have a cup of tea or coffee, whatever you like. He smiled and looked around. One day I will definitely. By the way, I think you should shift in the main city. This area doesn't look safe. He was a little concerned about you. I'm planning to rent an apartment near my working place soon. This is everything I could afford so far, but don't. This neighborhood is not that bad. Jungkook looked at you. If you want, you can stay in my house. Your cheeks turned pink and you looked at him surprised. I mean, I live with my mom. We have decent space in our house, so you can live with us only if you want. I have already troubled you. Now I don't want to be a burden to your mom. Who said you are a burden? You can help my mom in her cafe. She'll be happy. Your mom runs a cafe? You said looking at him surprised. Yes, it's not that famous though. You never told me. You never asked. You were looking at him unbelievably. You can work in my mom's cafe. She needs someone who can help her. Trust me, it would be million times better than your rude boss who always troubles you. I don't know if I'm the right person. You know I'm not that perfect in my work yet. Don't worry, it's in the house. He said, winking, making you smile shyly. I don't know how to thank for everything you're doing for me, even though we are not that close. Close or not, doesn't matter. I helped you in your lowest. We get to know each other and we also trust each other. What else do you need to prove that we are close? You smiled. I think you're right. It was really unexpected. He smiled. So, did you decide? Should I give this good news to my mother? You looked at him and smiled. I will try my best. His lips curled up into a wide smile. Then get ready to shift in my house. Don't worry, you won't face any problem. Thank you. You're welcome. Now go inside so that I can also leave. At least have a cup of tea. You have come so far. From tomorrow, I will drink as much tea as you offer. You chuckle softly. I have to come up with a good excuse to leave my current job. Don't worry about him. I'll handle. Sleep well tonight. Good night. You nodded and waved at him. Good night and please drive safely. He smiled at you before wearing the helmet. Waving back at you, he left. You felt a strange feeling, a sense of relief and comfort. You don't know what all this is, but you have never met someone so caring like him after your parents. You closed the door of your apartment with a smile on your face. Ommo, you were really so pretty. Now I understood why Jungkook never stopped talking about you ever since he met you. You looked at Jungkook who smiled a little shyly. You should have come here when you moved to the city. This is like your own house. Why stay somewhere else and went through all those problems? You looked at her, you saw your own mother in her. She was kind, loving, caring. You didn't feel like you were meeting her for the first time. Thank you, Auntie. I didn't know that Jungkook also lives in the city. Yes, he left 7 years ago. Don't know how he came back. Whatever the reason, I'm happy that he came back. She said, looking at Jungkook, while you also looked at him confused. You thought he lived somewhere else, but turned out he's originally from here but left the house 7 years ago. But everything is fine, so please don't bring that topic, Oma. His mother sighed, but then she again turned towards you with a smile. You can live here as long as you want. Jungkook had already prepared a room for you. I promise you won't be having any problem living here. Plus, now I don't have to work alone in the cafe. I'm so happy. You smiled. Thank you so much, Auntie. You are really kind. I promise I'll work with all the dedication. Mrs. Chan gently took your hand in her. See us as a family. We are together in this. Tears filled in your eyes, but you didn't let them fall and nodded. Okay, let's go. I'll show you your room, he said, getting up from the chair. He has decorated it by himself. You chuckled softly and then you both walked inside. This is your room. I hope you like it, he said, walking behind you while you were amazed to see how beautifully he organized this room. You turned towards him only to see him smiling at you softly. You felt something inside you, a feeling that was familiar yet it felt different. This is beautiful. Thank you so much. If you keep saying thank you for everything I do, I think you have to prepare every single minute to say thank you. You chuckled. But still, I don't know how to thank you enough. Even my own people never thought this much about me. They were never yours when they treated you that way. I'm happy that you are moving on. Your smile faded and you nodded. Jungkook saw the sadness that appeared on your face. I'm sorry if I said anything wrong. You shook your head. No, you didn't say anything wrong. It's just moving on isn't that easy as I thought. Jungkook understood that the pain inside you is still fresh and alive. He sat on the edge of the bed. Jiyoon, the girl I was head over heels on, just like you were on Peter, I also thought that she would never betray me. Your heart dropped. He was finally ready to tell you his story. You sensed the depth of his emotions because you were in the same position as him. We grew up together, did everything together. She was my best friend, and eventually I fell in love with her. For years, I thought she felt the same way. We shared so many memories, so many moments that I felt like they meant something. But when I finally confessed my feelings to her, she just smiled and said she loves me too. I thought it was the beginning of our happily ever after. Jungkook paused, his eyes distant as he recalled the painful memories. But a few months later, I found out she was seeing someone else. She didn't even have the decency to tell me herself. I found out through a mutual friend. She told me she loved me, but it was clear that she had moved on long before she ever admitted it. Your heart ached for him. I'm so sorry, Jungkook. That must have been incredibly painful. He looked at you, his voice heavy with emotion. I confronted her and she said she never meant to hurt me. She claimed she didn't know how to end things because she didn't want to lose me as a friend. But by then the damage was done. I couldn't look at her the same way again. You lowered your eyes. You have no idea how to comfort him. His pain was similar to you, but you were already dealing with your heartbreak. Jungkook didn't tell you this story to gain your sympathy, but he was trying to make you realize that life doesn't stop if one person leaves you. My condition was same as yours. I was struggling to move on, and that day in the church, when I heard you, that day I realized that this world is full of those kind of people. We need to be strong to let those people go. But why this always happens with good ones only? Why they get everything they want even after breaking someone else's heart? He took a deep breath and came near you. I wish I had an answer for that. Life isn't fair, and sometimes it feels like the good people are the ones who suffers the most, but I have come to understand that holding on to that hurt only gives them more power over us. You look down, suppressing your tears. It just feels so unjust. They move on with their lives, happy and content, while we are left picking up the pieces. He nodded. I know it's a hard pill to swallow, but holding on to that bitterness won't help us heal. We have to let go, not for them but for ourselves. It's just so hard. Every time I think I'm moving on, something reminds me of what I lost. You have lost nothing. Instead, you have learned a lesson. So it's time for you, for both of us to move on, to enjoy the life, to see the beauty of life, and you are strong enough to get what you deserve. His words were so strong that you were feeling that strength within you. You are right. I deserve better. He smiled and nodded. That's the spirit. You smiled weakly. The next day, Jungkook came inside the kitchen when he saw his mother and you making breakfast while talking like long lost best friends. A smile appeared on his face as he stopped at the door for some seconds. You won his mother's heart just in a day. He saw you smiling and laughing, which was rare, but then he realized that when you are with right people, you don't have to keep your feelings hidden. They can never keep hidden. Jungkook, why are you standing there? His mother said, noticing him while you turned towards him and smiled. You guys look like talking to something secret, so I didn't want to disturb. By the way, good morning. He looked at you and a blush appeared on your cheeks. Morning. I was telling Ryan to rest, but she insisted on helping me and cooked all the breakfast. She didn't let me do anything. Well, it's not that bad. I mean, today we'll get to eat something special, right? His mom narrowed her eyes while he chuckled but stopped immediately. So you want to say that you were bored eating the food I cook every day, huh? Jungkook shook his head. I didn't say that. I mean, you get to rest today, right? I'm understanding everything. I'm your mother. Jungkook's cheek turned pink. It got a little awkward, so you served the food. Let me help. He came near you and took the spoon from your hands, but your fingers gently brushed against his skin, making his heart skip a beat. He looked at you and gulped while you looked away, feeling an unknown tension in the air between you. Jungkook's mother was watching everything and a smile appeared on her face. Sorry, it's okay. He turned and started to pour the soup in bowls, but his heart was beating faster than usual and he was afraid of what he was feeling.